This is Boxing Tickets NI. We are here at the final press conference of Crocker. Felix, delighted to be joined for the first time in a while with Jamie Conlan. How are you, Jamie?
Oh, good, Marty. Oh, good, mate. You've got a big beard now. You look like you're...
I'm trying to pretend I'm Santa Claus.
Okay.
Santa Claus. But I guess the last time we spoke obviously was in the build-up to obviously your December show. Where did obviously the idea come for this one at the start of the year? I just want to grab you on the danger zone. Who was watching Top Gun?
Must have been Frank Smith, wasn't me. No, it was a date that was available with the zone, and we were saying it was available of our guys, and it was. No availability in any of the venues, but I was on the school run one morning and seen Newforge Lane. Someone told me about a new thing, so I drove down and popped in there and seen that was an option, and we were looking to go there, but then it wasn't signed off yet by council, which we later found out after Christmas, and we got lucky, if we're being honest, because we had Matchroom and dazn over on that Monday. We went up and looked at the Antrim Forum, and just by chance we had looked online and seen that Tony Christie had cancelled his performance in the waterfront hall, or in the Ulsterhall, and we all jumped into my car and drove down the Ulsterhall, and here we are. So it worked out for the best. Ulsterhall is an iconic venue. It's fantastic for boxing. It'll be fantastic for this kind of fight, because this is a phone booth fight. This is a fight that I don't think the guys will leave the centre of the ring. The Ulsterhall is a really tight, compact, hostile venue with a real small ring, and it's made for this kind of fight. So it's all worked out in the end, and I think we ended up in a better place for it. I was really excited about going to the Newforge and seeing this new venue, which will host boxing, I think, this year. And they were very helpful, and when they didn't have the contracts signed off in time with council, they were more than helpful. They were helpful. They were trying to set up with Antrim Forum, or we're looking at different places, and we were not really on the hop. We were caught off awares. It was such a go there for a while. We were just trying to find anywhere, and just the doors opened for Ulsterhall, and we all got in, and brilliant.
I guess Newforge is maybe going to offer something different, obviously, as we know with some of the venues. You sort of go from the Ulsterhall and the next thing into SSE, so Newforge can sort of offer something different. I think it's what it holds about 2,000, maybe it can hold more than that, so probably the perfect venue, because we have the Waterfront Hall, which, as you well know, is a good atmosphere for boxing in some ways. That theatre sort of thing, like you see the snooker there, and even the atmosphere for the snooker, it's not a noisy sort of thing, but it feels very distant, so Newforge can maybe offer something different for boxing this year.
Yeah, it could. You started to see the venue like Gertwood and Newforge and places like that starting to try and in, but we do need another stepping stone after the Ulsterhall to go to like something bigger. So it is something that's needed here in Belfast, and we gotta kind of explore that. We have fantastic shows here. We have fantastic opportunities here. We have quality fighters here, and we have quantity of fighters here now, and we just need to kind of keep producing them here, and we need to produce in the venue. So this is a bit small, but it is just nice, and we're looking at something here again in March potentially, which we hope to announce next week. We're looking to try and come back. Well, we have the Ulsterhall penciled for a date late in March, so it's one of my favourite venues in world boxing. Winning the Ulster Senior title here in the Ulsterhall, when the Ulster Seniors were something, meant something, felt like something with BBC and stuff. So it was always kind of holds a special place to me. So yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, obviously, the Matchroom. Obviously, you obviously done a lot of shows yourself and stuff, promoting shows there. So it'll be interesting to see, obviously, Matchroom's taking what they do with it. I guess it's a sort of older venue, so you're sort of limited sometimes what you can do. But it'd be great to see, obviously, Matchroom and dazn there, obviously, seeing how special the Ulsterhall is.
Yeah, it is. I know. I'm told them it's a better venue than the York Hall, and just put it in the same context. But they understand how that is with the balcony, and with how it is all compact and hostile. It's hard to beat. When you get the right fights, it's unbelievable.
Obviously, it's a quick turnaround for Lewis. Obviously, he was halfway. I think he said he's halfway through a kebab. I was sort of saying to Frank Smith there, it's like a triangle. Obviously, Tyrone beat Jose Felix on one of the Felix shows. Then, obviously, Jose Felix goes and upset Gary Cully, and now obviously Jose Felix back to Lewis. There's a probably danger in that respect of we've obviously seen with the triangles before. Everybody beats everybody else, so I think Jose Felix has more knockouts, and obviously Lewis has fights, so it could be a very, very dangerous fight, as you say, in a smaller ring as well.
It is. I think people are underestimating Jose Felix because of the fight at 130, 135 against Gary Colley, and but I know Jose and his team, they struggled to make 135, and when we done the fight with Tyrone, it was 140, and even then that was a struggle. So 147, he'll be very comfortable. He'll be very happy, as he said. He's not having 2 battles; he's going to have 1 battle, and it's a fight that he's coming with. I think it was already in preparation for a fight, so he's coming fully prepared. So it's and then obviously the short turnaround for Lewis is negative on his end, because he's less time to lose weight. He's less time. But the only said is he was coming fresh off a camp, fresh off the best camp of his life, fresh off the best performance of his life with no injury, coming back to back camps, back. Like, it's unheard of fighting 10-round fights back to back, month to month. And he must be really, well, I know he is really happy with that, because it was something that when we sat down and we said, right, how do we plan last year? Well, actually the year before, fights fell through. Some of the fights fell through. We brought him over to Alan Booth's gym, relocated there, started to say, right, let's put a pathway to get to where we want to get to. And he had the worst year of his life. Many fights fell through injury, opponents not getting on the plane, small wee niggles, fights just falling through for one reason whatsoever. And we kind of just, that was a write-off. But last year was the year where we said, right, let's rebuild, let's kind of go around, let's fight wherever we can get fights, let's kind of get fights that we can try and build on, no pressure, no whatever, build into the big fight. And then the big fight was Tyrone. It just happened. It wasn't the fight that we had set out to be, but it ended up being that fight. For both Tyrone and Lewis, the one thing I'd say is whoever comes out of this comes out of this a star. If Tyrone came out, he would have been in this position. But Lewis came out, an opportunity now to really grasp the city, take the bull by the horns, and really drive things forward for this city and for professional boxing in this city. So it has been the perfect year for Lewis Crocker last year. This year, though, is his year to capitalise on that. It was a lot of grinding, a lot of building, a lot of kind of, as I said, under the radar, fighting on dinner shows really, where he had to take a real step back. He had to kind of go into himself, living with Billy Nelson, which would be hard in itself. Like going away for the full year, basically fighting. He got 4 fights last year, and the last fight was the big fight, and that was the crowning moment. Now's the time to capitalise on that. Now's the time the massive fights will come, the money fights will come, the headline shows will come. He has a massive year in front of him. He's got to remain in the gym, he's got to remain on the ball, and that's a testament of what he done. He took himself out of Christmas. Christmas got cancelled, everything got cancelled, New Year's got cancelled. He's sitting watching the New Year's countdown with Billy Nelson on the sofa like that. Who the fuck wants to do that? So yeah, this is a big year for him, and getting thrusted into this is a testament to him, because not much fighters would have really wanted to jump straight back in after having a long year, after having a hard camp, after having a hard fight. Like, it's a grueling fight, 10 rounds, regardless of how the fight went. It was a 10-round fight. So it's it's a testament to come straight back in.
In some ways, obviously, you've been involved with a lot of Lewis's career. Did obviously the fight with Tyrone sort of tick boxes we maybe didn't see from Lewis before? He always said he was like 20 and 30% for fights. Was it able to build himself up on the fight? Obviously, the smack talk they sort of had in fight week. 10 rounds, obviously, sort of series engine as well. Did he tick a lot of boxes for you in that fight, where you can now go, where people talked about Lewis for years and the potential he had? Did that tick a lot of boxes off for you, and you go, he's now ready for the next level?
Well, he's in the unknown for him. He's in with a guy for the first time ever is talking back to him. It's the first time ever someone is going to poke holes in you that you didn't think were there. It's the first time ever where the spotlight on the general public is more in. It's the first time ever people in the community that he listens to are actually picking against him. So he's had to be in the unknown. He's been thrusted into a position where we all, when you're coming through, you have to kind of tick a box, and that was the big thing for me, was how was he going to handle the pressure, how was he going to handle the tempo, how was he going to handle the work with Tyrone. He answered all them questions. There was a lot of things that I thought he could have done better, but he had to do it in that, it was in a fishbowl that he had to do it and come through it. So I was very, very happy with the performance, but it's just about how we build off that now. It's just about how we build off that. So it was a big night for him, but it's in the past now. We have a real tough man in front of us in Jose Felix, who we've seen up close and personal. who we've seen upset the odds, who can punch with either hands, who can he can take whatever is out in front of him as well. The Mexicans don't come out; they come over to lie down. He's coming over here, as you said, in a small ring, which he thinks is going to benefit him just as much as it's going to benefit Lewis.
Obviously, Kurt Walker obviously had it onto the card last minute as well. Obviously, I think you give him the news and it was straight on the plane. Is that obviously another testament to Curtis now his 10th fight in under 2 years? I think it'll just be over 2 years of being a pro. 8th different venue as well. It seems to be as if it's sort of building up for something maybe in the plan for Kurt. He sort of mentioned Hopey Price and stuff there as with Matchroom. Kurt wants a big year, 2024. I guess you're obviously the man who's going to deliver it for him.
Yeah, well that's it. We've sat down and we put a plan in for the year, and our plan is the year's titles. You know, this came close, so it was just about getting them out. And I was pestering Frank about getting them out just after Christmas because we're setting something up for the year, and we want to keep them active, but we want to keep them active in meaningful fights, and that's the next step after this. Is to kind of tick the box, get him out, keep him in the gym, stays in the gym from here on in. And this year's a massive year. This is a year where Kurt again can establish himself, build something in the Ulsterhall, create that as a venue where he's going to go. Because Lewis, we're hoping for SSE, we're hoping for the big nights there, we're hoping for the bigger venues, and it was unfortunate because it would have been the SSE. That's what we were looking for. That was what Matchroom were asking for. That's what we wanted to do. But that's the level Lewis is at now. This is kind of just it's a box filling exercise. But for Kurt, that's where we would like to kind of start to put a kind of a flag burden down this year with him and trying to build something off the back of it.
He hasn't got an easy opponent either. Obviously, Darwin Martinez obviously was Conor Quinn's opponent. Obviously, drew with him here. Obviously, controversially, I thought Conor had it easy enough, but he came on strong. Really good amateur as well. So I guess Kurt can't look too far ahead of Saturday night.
No, definitely not. And that's what's needed for someone like Kurt. If he knows it's going to be an easy night, he kind of comes down to that level. So he knows he needs to be switched on. He knows he needs to be smooth. He knows he needs to be clean and get out of the ring Saturday night. Like it is, he needs to kind of show why he's above this level and why he's just coming through this and setting up for bigger things.
Obviously, speaking of big things coming, obviously Paddy Mcgregor in just over 4 weeks' time has a chance of a lifetime. Obviously, you keep calling him the everyman. Obviously, I was saying to Frank Smith there, he's a leading light for Irish boxing. He's come from the small hall circuit selling tickets. He's now obviously fighting in Orlando, Florida. It's crazy to think that obviously only a couple of years ago, obviously Paddy, was contemplating never boxing again, and now he's on a fight, probably a final chance before maybe a potential world title fight.
Everything he's doing, you can't help being proud for Paddy because of what he does and who he is, but it's the best thing about this is he's going under the radar. No one's expecting anything of him. They're expecting he's just there to make up the numbers. But Paddy is there, and he's in with a massive chance. The self-confidence in this team, in the camp, everything that's gone on. He's investing in himself this camp for really taking it serious. This is an opportunity of a lifetime, and it's one he's going to grab with both hands.
I'm not sure if obviously you've seen a tweet from obviously Berlanga's team. Is it Mimi Heredia? Is that the name? He's obviously given off about the clean boxing programme, but they've only been given 4 or 6 weeks for testing. Obviously, I guess it's quite ironic that someone obviously has been involved with boxers and cheating tests and everything else coming out with. Does that show the worry coming from Berlanga's team that they're questioning obviously testing?
Probably, yeah, but he's there. You going home tonight? See you in the morning or whatever you want.
How long you got? I'll come back. Let me go to toilet. I'll come back in.
Sound.
I say it's quite ironic that obviously they may be worrying about Paddy and obviously his power and everything else, but they're trying to question testing.
Yeah, it is very ironic, especially coming from Mimi Heredia.
And obviously Irish boxing as a whole, obviously I think your next show to come up will be the 7th, obviously announced in the first quarter of 2024. It looks like it's going to be a massive year, but I guess you have Matchroom involved here as well. It's going to bring a lot more shows, isn't it? Obviously it's going to build a lot more talent quickly.
We've been banging the drum for Irish boxing for years now, and everyone sees it, and they do see that it can be capitalised and can be something that can be worked on, and the fighters are here. It's just about bringing the shows to the fighters, and that's hopefully what everyone's going to be doing this year.
Well, Jamie, listen, thanks very much for your time. Good to catch up. We'll let you get back to watching some Top Gun before Saturday night.
Nice one, it's a great show. Maverick.